there's good reason for my glistening skin, and how I shine, and how my pores are so clean and clear. I eat little baby's ice cream. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet. I spring from activity to activity. I love my job. I love my life. When you eat little baby's ice cream, you'll wink and nod and hug and high-five each other with great enthusiasm. This is a special time. Little baby's ice cream. Ice cream is a feeling.
Social distancing.
Social distancing.
Variety hour. Happy National Ice Cream Day, everybody.
It is National Ice Cream Day, and Jesus Christ. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm Michael.
I'm Adam. Welcome to Nightmare Fuel.
If we weren't bad enough for you, there's a little something.
Yeah.
I feel like digging into my own brain with a spoon.
It's good.
Why with a spoon? Because it'll hurt more. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I took a late nap, which always makes me weird at 10 o'clock. But I'm good. It's been a pretty relaxing weekend. We had no kids this weekend, so it was a lot of
we social distancing saw each other.
We did social distancing see each other. We had a fire in the fire pit, and you came over and sat at a reasonable distance, and we drank gin and tonics around the fire, and it was very romantical.
We still held hands,
yeah,
but we were wearing gloves.
Oh, I got to do it this way.
Yeah, is it this way?
No, other way.
Does that look right?
No, other way.
This way?
That way.
I don't give a shit. Oh, we'll figure it out.
We will. One of these weeks, because we're professionals.
No, we're not. But like, I don't know. Being barren and unable to conceive children myself, I don't like. I can't imagine the sort of joy of being childless, and especially in your circumstance, because like you have one and one and then one together,
right,
doing rent, so you have like a whirlwind of like back and forth and all over the
comings
places.
And goings, and yeah.
So when you get a full weekend, I mean, aside from the obvious of sleep,
right,
like, does it just become is it a better, do you kind of curse it? I mean, just like, fuck, why do we ever have kids?
Yeah, those words come out of our mouths sometimes, but I mean, we have great kids. You know our kids. Our kids.
I know
cool.
your kids are great, but they're still kids, and they're
right.
still fucking pains in the asses. So good. I mean, you look refreshed.
Yeah, I feel refreshed. Like I slept in. I watched way too much TV. We had like adult dinner with no kids, and like hung out with you, and yeah, it was good.
Adult dinner, because we made the mashed potatoes look like titties. That was our adult dinner.
It came in a plain brown wrapper.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you. And then life returns to normal, but whatever.
Tomorrow. But yeah, but that's good too. So,
I've been living bachelor style.
Yeah.
So I don't have any responsibilities. So I went kayaking today in between the storms.
Nice.
It was down in the lagoons. Saw a few heron.
Really?
Super dope. Yep. And yeah, it was a really good time. It was a really good day. So, once again, I kind of feel like I've been having these really good weekends and then become unable to fully form and foment at the mouth with all of the hatred and anger and fear and frustration that I hold into it. But, if you're living under a rock and you're coming to us for your news, number one, fuck you, you fucking idiot. But number two, like, our government is disappearing people in Portland, and that should considerably be on your mind all the time, and it should concern you to no end. Where, you know, like no badges, no identification, no names, no nothing on military uniforms,
just
taking people
off the
out of the street, putting them into unmarked rented minivans and driving off with them. What the fuck are we thinking? What is going on here? And if you're not aware and you're not concerned and you're not calling people to demand change, then this is a trial run. And this is legitimately how fascism happens, you know, where you will just give these things up because, oh, it could never happen here. It's happening here right now.
Well, you know, until 6 weeks or 2 months ago, I would have thought tear gas and rubber bullets was a thing that couldn't happen here until it did. So, yeah, I've kind of lost my ability to it can't happen here about anything, because it eventually will.
You know, I've thought I'm anti-gun. Like, I am completely anti-gun, because there seems like, I mean, for everyone that's always like, oh, it's if the government comes to, you know, get us, then we've got guns. And I was like, dude, if the government is coming to get you and you're worth it to them, like, you won't even know. Like, they'll drone strike you. Like, SEAL Team 6 went into Afghanistan and killed Osama bin Laden. You don't think they're going to have a hard time getting into your gated community and dropping a couple in the back of your head and disappearing?
You'll just get injected between the toes and you'll never even see it coming.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know, it's not going to happen. But at the same time, like, I'm not concerned so much about the feds as I am the bootlickers that think they, you know, that it's going right. It's unreal. It's unreal what is happening in the United States of this America. I mean, the oligarchy is out of control and they're scared because we're starting to realize that shit doesn't have to be this way and shouldn't be this way. And you can't have billions and billions of dollars to yourself without the work of other people. And
but what if you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps to make those billions of dollars, Michael?
Yeah, like I don't know, like Jeff Bezos, who started Amazon in a garage with a small $275,000 loan from his parents.
Right.
You know, like, what the fuck? On top of other seed money, like, they were, you know. Yeah, if my parents gave me $275,000, I'd do something good too.
The best way to start with, you know, the best way to get rich is, like, step 1, start with $1 million. Step 2.
Yeah. Right. You're like, what more? You're already a millionaire.
Right.
And, you know, and like Bill Gates just stole people's ideas.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's like all this. And then you think about just all the people just hoarding wealth, you know, like the Walton family or something, of just like, they have done absolutely, you know, they were like, the right guy came in the right woman and like, boom, you're rich. Like, you've done nothing. Like, have you ever seen Sam Walton's picture? He's just this old, wrinkled, sort of like if they shaved Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
But he's just this southern, like, wrinkled dude. And he's just, one day, he was just like, there you go. Thanks, Ma. And, like, boom, now you're a trillionaire. And you make, like, more money in a day than most Americans do in years of a job. It's unreal. But this is all being done to protect that. Sure. This is all being done to protect that wealth. And the infrastructure that, you know, enables it. So please do your homework. Read about what's going on all over the country and around the world, but especially in Portland right now. And like
we did do some outreach this week to some friends in Portland. So we're working on trying to get some Portland activist folks on the show in the coming weeks sometime to talk about that situation and, you know, what they think of it on the ground out there, which has to be terrifying.
I mean, to just be, you know, peacefully protesting something that is an atrocity that has been going on for far too long in this country anyway, with police brutality and just the outright racism inherent in that. But to be out there voicing that correct opinion,
right,
and then be disappeared,
boop,
fuck,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, just like gone, unreal, absolutely unreal. But I'm glad that we are taking this show seriously enough that we're like, you know what's going on? Let's find out more about this. You know, let's get some professionals.
Maybe it's
to
one
talk
of those
about it.
crazy caper movies where they're now on like a treasure hunt for like $3 million in gold bullion that's in a bus station locker somewhere. And, they've been, abducted by, eccentric casino owner John Cleese, and they're now on a big treasure hunt cross country with their families.
Oh, we didn't know what to get you for your 50th birthday, so we did that.
Or what's the
the game?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Michael...
the game. I was trying to think of the game. Yeah, maybe it's just a big version of the game.
It's fine. Go back to sleep, America.
Yeah,
go back to sleep. You're fine.
One of those immersive alternate. It's just a big escape room.
Yeah, just go back to watching your shitty reality television and get ready to vote for Kanye in November. Fucking idiots.
He may have dropped out.
I know, but he's still doing dumb shit, and there will still be this percentage of idiots.
Yeah,
like voting for Lyndon LaRouche.
Yeah, or writing in Harambe.
Yeah. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking 6 Point Trail Haze, which I just picked up when I went out and got pizza like half an hour ago. How about you?
I'm back on an American kick, the rare red blend out of California.
Oh, I think I've had that one. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's a rare red blend and it's really good, and especially for the economical price it's listed at. But I've been drinking on it for like 2+ years, and it's nothing rare about it. It's always there.
Yeah,
it's a staple. It's a staple. So, good stuff.
Good. So we got a show tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited for this show tonight for the first time in weeks.
Oh, thanks. Love you too. And our last couple weeks of guests all love you too.
Well, we don't even remember who's on the show. We're sitting together the other night.
I remember who was on the show.
We're just we're like, oh, well, yeah, but not right away, and not what week.
Right.
They all just run together now. Well, this
is our 18th show. 18 weeks we've been doing this. Like, we first started doing this back in March, and it was like, oh, this will be a fun thing we'll do for 2 weeks until life gets back to normal. And then here we are, what, 4+ months later? Still on our bullshit. And life has not. Life in the outside world has not improved by a bit, really.
And it's just getting worse. I was at work on Thursday, and I was witness to a maskless person accosting a coworker, laid hands on him.
Yeah.
And I mean, what the fuck? Like, just wear a mask.
Yeah.
Wear a fucking seatbelt too. But like, fuck.
We as a country have gotten used to, no shirt, no shoes, no service. We don't have like vigilante mobs of shoeless people trying to go into the stores and assault people over their right to not wear shoes.
I mean, this Democrat hoax is like, it's astounding to me. Number one, because it's worldwide. But number two, if they were smart enough to pull off a hoax like this, then why the fuck did they keep running all these chud thumpers and bullshit people? Oh, Kitty. Oh, I can't be mad and talk about horrible shit if there's a Kitty.
If there's a Kitty on the show.
Kitty.
Batman Kitty.
Oh, we're going to put him in burlap sacks and throw him in the river later. So stay tuned for that.
No. Kitty got fixed this week. And other Kitty other kitty who had been Paula, we discovered upon taking Paula to get fixed that Paula is in fact Paolo. So that was a surprise.
Get yourself a trans kitty.
Yep, get yourself a trans kitty. It's where it's at, because she's fabulous.
Got to wait until she becomes a cat before you can identify her. So him, either way,
them,
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I still like the burlap sack idea. Death does not consider any race, color, creed, or sexual orientation. It just comes for you.
Yeah. But it comes for you less if you wear your mask.
Oh, just wear your fucking mask. Like I still endorse the idea of like, you know, guardian angel type citizens that are, you know, appointed by some, you know, I don't know, Walmart greeter or something, just comes up to you in the morning and is like, you're it today. And you just get to travel around to different stores, and people that don't wear masks, you get to kick them in the nuts just over and over again. Because it's continuously men, especially old white men.
Yeah,
and young white men.
I support this. Like, I feel like we've had enough near future dystopian fiction where there are, you know, bands of armed vigilantes who are out enforcing stuff. Like, I watched Watchmen. You probably watched Watchmen. Like, it's like we can band together and like put weird masks on our faces and go, you know,
fight the power.
Go fight the power. Go beat people up for this, can't we?
Yeah, I think we should. I really do.
I mean, not me personally, but
no, but someone like me, someone younger, faster that can like kick someone in the nuts and then get away.
A younger me type.
Not like you find him a block later wheezing as I'm coughing up like 20 years of nicotine stained lungs. But I do believe that, you know, in this country, when we started really trying to come around in a good way to be more like kind to each other, you know, to properly address each other, to properly recognize people, to do all these things, like we also forgot how to be real. And there is a point where you just need to look at someone and be like, that's fucking bullshit, knock it off.
Yeah, like you can be kind and respect the fact that people have opinions, but still
your opinion is not, you know, doesn't make it right.
Right. But still assert yourself and you know, assert your right to not be killed by their opinion. Sunday
there you
fun
go.
day.
Put that on a fucking t-shirt.
So we got a show.
We do have a show. Hype.
So we are going intercontinental for the first time tonight. We got some
going
friends.
Across the pond.
Yeah, we got some friends from the UK. Our friends Isn'tses, Tim and why did I just blank on her name?
Oh man.
Lisa. Tim and Lisa.
Dude.
I know. Tim and Lisa.
Shit.
Are Isn'tses, and they are going to be joining us in just a few minutes. We're going to have some good conversation with them. We are going to have some live performance from them, some slightly not live performance from them, because it's 3 a.m. over there and they have neighbors. So it's live performance just for us from yesterday, but it will be just the same. So let's get into a piece of music, and let's get our new friends on here, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. This is friend of the program, Sir Nate, to talk about critical theory. Oh, it's Tim and Lisa.
Oh, hello, Tim and Lisa.
Hi guys. I was about to message you. We were going to play a piece of music and come back and have you magically here, but now you're magically here without us doing that. So, so great.
Is it delay?
Yeah, we got some feedback going. Okay.
Hello.
Well, play the song and then we'll come back and talk and we'll work out all these bugs.
I will do that. Okay, we'll be right back.
The truth is a fact, a fib is a fiction. A theory is a clear and objective description of that which exists. How it is, how it isn't, by history or science or some defined discipline. And so theory goes. If you hold the opinion that truth is so easily known and envisioned. But what if, quote, truth as you know it is hidden by myths you've been told that you don't know you're living? What if powers that be control how the truth's given? And even how science and history are written? And even the means of theorizing's conditioned by the interest of those in the power position? Well, in that case, our theories would need criticism. And this is called critical theory. Its mission to sift out the shit and call out the system. What system is it? It's capitalism. Roll your paradise, make your paradigms, break no paradigms. They tell me this is paradise. It started with a question within Marxism. Is the revolution working? Oh, darn it isn't. Well, the Bolsheviks revolted, the autocrats co-opted it, but the problem's not communist, the problem is consciousness. All we can think is what we have known, and all we've ever known is that things can be owned, and to bite, scratch, and claw to get your possessions. And life is a bitch if dog eat dog's your first premise. It's get what you get since the get-go, it's endless. The notion's so close we don't notice its presence. Every system we inscribe's reinstated its essence in hieroglyphs, Bibles, and declarations of independence. All of our relations, a human and their nation, a human and another human, a human and Mother Nature, are reduced to an equation of consumeristic labor. You know what I'm saying? You get what you pay for. My ancestors own people, my creditors own me though. It's not the same thing, but there's many kinds of evil. But we don't even overthrow the powers that be though, cause we really don't even know how to be free. Oh, and even if we did know how, would we want to be? Don't we want jobs and a solid economy? People gotta eat, it's Nathan's hot dogs or me. We've got it all, but it's all ideology. The system may seem natural, but it keeps you in place. It makes it seem natural to work cheap at a pizza place. It makes it seem natural to divide the species by class and race. It makes it seem unnatural to stop and seek peace and grace. Nothing against pizza. Pizza's delicious, but the idea that you need it is cheesy and insidious. No matter how you slice it, we're defined by our interests in a circle of supply and demand, which is vicious. And I may understand this and say it in rap spits and pray my supply matches what your demand is. Yet I must admit, in spite of this rap song, even I had to buy Das Kapital on Amazon. Ain't that ironic? You called it Atlantis. You call yourself leftist, you're probably capitalist. Not that you don't mean your call out sincerely. This irony is acknowledged by critical theory. Roll your paradise, take your paradigms, break no paradigms, prepare to die in paradise. If I only knew how to be free. Theoretically. So critical theory looks at our history, all of its books and ambiguous victories, all of its answers and questions them critically. Why everyone says they want freedom but isn't free. And so what began in the context of economics became a critique of a complex of concepts that constitute the basis of the ideological constructs that course through our culture and complicate all of it. And it's the predecessor of identity politics and feminist call-outs of patriarchal nonsense and critiques of white privilege and fights for racial justice that say what's left unsaid and just how unjust it is. And make you wake up to what's real till you're woke to the wheel of control in which you're a mere spoke. For the system's not broken, it breaks you, you're broke. And it ain't funny, bro, your truth is a joke. But then here's a problem. If all I've been told is a product of forces and forms of control that inform all I do when I'm thinking of stuff, well then how I know who to be critical of? Take a pair of sources of important information, like a couple of our never-ending news organizations making two new contradictory yet very forceful statements. Who's to say which of the two you should believe and who to take a spin? You may be moved to say whichever's based upon the evidence, but if you had the evidence, you'd only then make sense of it, directed through the prism of whatever your perspective is, perspective that's affected by whatever else is said to it. But if it's all relative, then how is there a hell to give? Even that it's relative itself is kind of relative, whether you're a liberal with conservative relatives or a rebel who would kill to live well in the hell you live. And this is relevant since critical questioning gets weaponized by your side and your enemies, characterizing this 21st century in endless critique with increasing intensity. And so a theory that's designed to find and call out all the liars now is also called upon by those designing to divide us. It's the tool that's used to fight the privileged class and bank insiders, but it's also used to justify the climate change deniers. It's the basis of all of the words in these raps, but also fake news and alternative facts. Even maniacs and bigots try to speak their truth to power. Each is saying louder that their truth is ours. I don't know what's true. I too am a part of it. The tool is double-edged. Choose your department. I do art. I'm a dude in an apartment. I don't know what to do, though I try to regardless. For myths are not replaced by truths, but by other myths that get more use. The myth uses us. It's us who invented it. Let's invent some that have mutual benefit. History's history. Let's see how it ends. Let's be each other's critics and friends. Let's tear it all down and build something fine. All theories aside, it's a critical time. Roll your paradise, make your paradigms, break your paradigms. They tell me this is paradise. I only knew how to be free. Theoretically.
Social distancing variety hour. We are back magically with Tim and Lisa, our friends Isn'tses. Hi, guys.
Hi. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
So it's like
We were just saying that we're like, it's the middle of the night here, so we're like, if we fall asleep, just shout loudly.
Poke you.
Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. here, and might just be like in some sort of dream
3:30
zone.
now.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's 3:30 in the morning.
Well, thank you guys for staying up to talk with us. I was excited that you guys were up for doing that. So, so thanks for being good sports and staying up late and
Thanks, Harry.
ruining your day tomorrow.
Yeah, we actually had a nap, so we kind of cheated. Like we had a nap. And
Oh,
then we
that's
woke up.
good. I had a nap too, and it's not even 11 here. So yeah, it's that's good. That's good strategy.
Before we get into how cool your music is and how cool you guys are, like there's a worldwide pandemic, and so it's happening over there too. And you've also got like an insane egotistical right-wingish conservative leader and a lot of people that, you know, their stiff upper lips are just flapping bullshit all the time. So what is the world like for you guys there? I mean, just like on a day-to-day, are you completely locked down, or are you back at work? Have you ever had to do any of that?
We went to a pub for the first time on Wednesday, I think, and it was quite nice because all the tables are really clean.
Instead of like sticky, yeah. But
like most people are wearing masks. I think like 60% of people are wearing masks.
People are pretty good with masks.
And then there's a bunch of people that just act like it's not happening. And our buffoon prime minister basically just confuses the crap out of everyone because they just contradict everything. And so we stopped listening to him like everybody. No one listens to him anymore, I think, apart from a few dedicated followers.
Right.
Yeah.
We kind of we were quite prepared to lock down. We kind of we even a bit voluntarily sort of locked down before they even said you should, before they officially said you have to. We were like, everyone knows this is a good idea. So I think a lot of people did that.
Like a week before.
At least quite a few people. I think there was at least some sort of, people know that what the government is telling to do isn't necessarily the best idea, and they're like, we'll just do what seems sensible based on what we know about what's going on. So I think quite a lot of people were just like trying to avoid people and, staying in even before we were told to.
How in the UK, how much say, like, because here in the US, it's very much a state-by-state decision, and then even within the states, sometimes, there are local governments who are making their own recommendations, passing their own local ordinances and stuff like that. Is it pretty much countrywide you guys are doing the same thing? I think I read something this week that Scotland was requiring some additional stuff over what the national government is doing.
England is doing different things to what Wales and Scotland are doing.
Okay.
And then Ireland is doing the same thing. But you've also got areas of the country that are gone back into lockdown.
Okay.
And that's just all controlled by sort of a central government of like in England.
What they're kind of doing now is they're kind of almost passing the buck. They're doing localized lockdowns, which basically means they've told like local council areas that, like is it Leicester?
Leicester,
in Leicester, there's like a massive outbreak, and they basically told the local council, like, okay, you have to do a local lockdown now. No one knows what that means or how you do it or how you afford to do it, but you have to do it now.
But it is all controlled
it's kind of
by
like
the government.
They don't want to do another national lockdown, so they're like, we'll just leave it to local councils.
So the government tells them what to do, but Scotland and Wales do what they like.
Yeah, Scotland and Wales have been pretty sensible in comparison.
Well, Scotland has developed kind of a reputation, at least over here in the last couple of years, of like not taking any shit about anything, which like they,
The empire's dead. You guys are fucked. You've lost Scotland again.
That's the tragic thing about all of this, is that we're probably going to lose Scotland. I mean, not because of the COVID thing, but because of Brexit, obviously. So they'll have another referendum.
Yeah, they've been trying to.
Or they'll try to anyway. They said we want a referendum, and Boris said no.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person he is. Like, he said no. Well, I think that they want one.
Yeah.
I think it's something that we both share once again, like just idiot fucking leadership at all kinds of levels that is just going to do it wrong and doesn't care. One more, on the maddening of the world kind of question, do you get to see a lot of what's going on over here as far as the protesting and the Black Lives Matter stuff?
It's on the news a lot. We hear about it a lot. Is
because they stopped our news stopped talking about it. They covered that shit up. That's
for a while it was all the time, and we kind of thought that all of America had burnt down. And it was quite surprising to see people online and doing things and stuff. And it was like, but I thought you guys burnt down. Like, still there.
Oh, we're still burning. We
have not yet begun to burn.
We're like that. We're like that little dog in the room on fire. Going, this is fine.
They cover it. I mean, it depends what you watch, but if you watch like Channel 4 News or something, they cover a lot of that stuff in their head.
A lot of it was from the perspective of how bad the police were being there. That we saw.
Which is accurate.
It's pretty good coverage.
Just completely different how it was here. It's like, oh my God, look at that protester throw himself in front of that cop's baton.
Right.
Look at them setting things on fire. How dare they do this to people's personal property? Yeah, it was a lot of press was coming to the defense of private property and coming down hard on the property destruction part of it, which is obviously completely backwards. But
that happens.
Now,
I think recently we've seen American news is a lot about Florida. So we see a lot of people on the beach. So it's like, well, they're all on the beach over there, but then obviously they're saying that the cases there are really high and everything. But keep going on the beach.
It's terrible. Yeah,
they've got more cases than 100 countries.
Yeah, right.
We're fucking stupid on every level here.
Yeah.
Have you guys personally been to the States at all, or no?
Yeah, well, not recently, but I was there sometime in the past, in LA.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole other country from where we're at.
Yeah, that's
right.
Well, Michael lived in LA for a period of time, which I always forget about until you reminded me a couple of weeks ago.
I needed a passport to get in, but Los Angeles in the mid '90s was something special. Yeah. Absolutely.
I spent 2 days there once. It's a good 2 days.
Let's talk about you guys as the Isn'tses. And I guess, it's up to you how deep you want to get into your own thing. If you want to start individually and how your musical paths led you there, or just how you are now and how you became Isn'tses.
Okay. Well, I used to do kind of more indie songwriting, and I kind of wanted to do something that was much more like how immediate when you're writing something to begin with before you tie it down. And because I've got all this experience with making music, that I wanted to do something that was completely improvised. I don't know if I knew that that's what I was wanted to do, but that's what I did. In hindsight, you think, oh, I must have wanted to do that because I did it. But I also learned lots of more electronic instruments and that sort of thing because I'm a guitar player. But I sort of work all that into what we do. But then also, it was all about sort of seeing what happens. Working with Tim was like we were both kind of making these sort of crazy noises and taking field recordings and doing all sorts of things that was very different from like, you know, indie songwriting. But there's still like, you know, for me anyway, there's still like elements of like melody that happen, which is like not what you're supposed to do in noise, but I'm like, well, that's what I do. So well, it's not a protest or anything. That's just what I do.
You know, as a fellow, you know, person who comes to noise from having played, you know, like real instruments and, you know, playing regular music and stuff, I think it does give an interesting, like, if you've got, because you've got, you know, you got people in the noise scene, I'm sure they're as much as here, that like are very sort of anti-virtuosic, anti any sort of, you know, technique or, you know, traditional playing ability or, you know, any kind of songcraft or anything. And then, I think when you come from more of a song background and having, you know, done things like that, I think it does give a different angle on it, and one that I personally tend to appreciate, because I guess that's where I'm coming from.
I come from a complete non-music angle though, so which is why it's good, you know, working with Lisa, because you combine the two. I started out doing circuit bending, and I kind of started out more through, I was interested in kind of electronic visual art, like sort of machine art, like survival research laboratories, and these kind of like, I guess, industrial culture kind of robot art stuff and things like that. Years ago, I was really inspired by, and I kind of started trying to build some, you know, electronic art of some kind, and ended up making more of the sound side of it. Discovered circuit bending through Reed Ghazala's site.
I see that you guys have designed and built some instruments too. You've got some designs that you guys have.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, nice.
So,
oh wow!
So this is the thought processor, which is this is something we designed for this sound art festival called Thought Process, which is in like an actual fort, like
it's New Haven Fort, which is an actual fort. Yeah,
it's like on the coast. Military. It's like this massive
ex fort. Yeah, no, it's just like a kind of tourist place that tourists go to see what a fort used to look like.
So it used to be. I think it was built in like Napoleonic times, and then they used it during World Wars and stuff. It's basically just a big weird castle, loads of tunnels and stuff on the beach or next to the beach. So it's pretty.
So this is actually a the shape of it and the way it's laid out is a site plan. It's based on the site plan of the fort.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so wow.
This is like a building on the site. If that makes sense. And that's how it looks from aerial.
Yeah, it's like a plan. The map of the.
So this is actually New Haven Fort.
And you guys sell these, right? Like as a kit or as a finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a kit, or sometimes people just buy the PCB and they make it themselves.
We sell some ready-made ones on Etsy as well.
So we sell them built or as a kit or as a PCB.
Well, I'll be needing one of those for sure. Michael, you're gonna come over and help me solder, right?
Yeah, I'll help you solder all the time. I'll stand right behind you and be like, that doesn't look right.
That's some good soldering right there. Way to solder.
What, Tim, like, was it an artistic expression that, you know, like going from just creating things to the sound side of it? Does it, I mean, obviously you listen and are influenced by music, right? I mean, because you're human, but as far as we know, like to get to the sound part of it, did it awaken something inside of you? Did it turn your artistic ideas somewhere else that you hadn't gone, or was it just you make music now and that's how it is?
Kind of, yeah, just kind of, it's hard to say really. I just kind of ended up kind of making sounds that seemed more immediately interesting and doable than the other ideas I had, and just followed in that direction. And then at the time I was
assistance. This looks easy as shit. Let's do it.
Yeah. We can do this. We don't have to build a load of like mechanisms or something. But no, it was more just working with what was to hand. So it was
maybe
finding.
You became the robot.
Yeah, maybe I was.
You became the noise robot.
Yeah, but just working with this junk I could get hold of that, and just seeing what it did, and what it mostly did was make interesting noises rather than like be a robot. So
the circuit bending itself is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Circuit bending is kind of hard. I think a lot of people try it and they just break things.
Yeah, you have to be quite persistent to get anything actually good or usable out of it.
Yeah, I have one bent instrument, but I definitely did not do it myself. I've got a bent SK1 that a friend of mine did, but yeah, I would be like, I still have my original one that I've had since I was like 7 or 8. And I've a couple times had the notion of like, oh, I should try and circuit bend it, but I'm terrified to fry it because I'm too emotionally invested in this instrument that I've had for 32 years or whatever it is. Yeah, it's right over here. I'll show it to you later.
Oh, good. Let's investigate Adam's life, because we see him every week instead of having our international friends talk about how fucking cool they are. But go ahead, Adam. Show us.
No.
Show us your toy from your childhood. Now, maybe your dad will hug you now. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's not like we didn't stay awake till 3:30 in the morning.
You've just been shit on from the UK. That's a good night. My night's done. This show's made. This is my favorite one. Put it in the can.
Yeah. But yeah, we make a lot of stuff actually on this thing about making your own instruments, like it is when you've made a bunch of stuff yourself, because I've built loads of things now and circuit bent stuff as well, like a billion stuff from a kit, or like loads of my modules in my modular setup are like things that I've soldered myself. I've even soldered the surface mount board components, which are tiny.
Oh, those are terrible. Yeah.
You do get like a sense of satisfaction out of playing those instruments. It's kind of like, there's kind of like a sort of esoteric thing going on. Because loads of people are like, why would you want to make your own thing? It's so annoying and frustrating, and then it doesn't work. But it does work. We get our instruments to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might break, but not that often. But there is like this satisfaction of knowing that you made it, and you kind of understand it from the inside, like it's kind of a strange thing.
And there's kind of a perverse joy in doing it the hard way sometimes too.
There is that, yeah, and just like in the UK we have these really long winters, and there were times where it's just like I'm just gonna build this thing all day because like I can't look out the window.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Right.
And that's you concentrate on something and you're doing it all day, soldering or whatever, and it's also time away from the screen, like it's easy just to kind of watch TV or something, or watch Netflix all day. So it's like it's an anti-Netflix protest, really.
Yeah, it was because back in the day when I first, I was at some points thinking, I'd kind of like to make some music, and was trying to go on the computer and download some software and make something, and it's like I just spend the whole day downloading VSTs and then never actually make anything.
Right.
Whereas when you've got building something, you focus more time on one actual object in real life that you can do something with it, you're more likely to actually make some sounds with it and end up actually using it. And yeah, escaping from the screen. I mean, you know, I'm working on the computer, so
you still have to look at the screen sometimes to get instructions,
yeah, usually
or to look up the number of a resistor or something like that. To identify a component or something like that.
It's a break from sitting in front of After Effects all day, which is what I usually do.
Yeah, the only annoying thing is you get kind of like, because you're kind of leaning over, I kind of like just get like maybe like a sore neck or something like that. So you have to have a good setup, like, or like, you know, you get poisoned by all the solder fumes.
Oh yeah.
So screens are sometimes less dangerous.
This is how we get down over here now. We're just getting solder and fumes.
Anyone listening to this must just be like, what are they talking about? But
this is what we go for, though.
Yeah, with 18 weeks of this is just people going, what the fuck are they doing? Do you want to play some music from them so that we can, you know, give people an idea of what they're doing, and we can start talking about it.
They recorded
I found a fascinating thread that I want to pull on.
Okay. Yeah, they recorded a full live little set for us. You guys did this yesterday, the day before. So we got about 25 minutes of music from Isn'tses. Do you guys have anything you want to say about this before we get into it, or shall we just talk about it after?
Well, I think it's something that we did at home. It was really good, actually. I enjoyed the performance a lot, and it's really good because it takes you out of your ordinary life, you know.
Yeah.
We wear costumes and everything. We transformed the room to look different for the, you know, for the performance. We're using like projector with using an 8-bit generator, which is like a video synth,
nice.
Which we built and soldered as well. And so it was like kind of good that day because we got to like transport ourselves out of whatever we were in, you know. So like there's that kind of transportative like, you know, element to it. So like we just went to a really cool space with it, and we just enjoyed it and just like went with whatever.
Yeah,
and it's great to like get a chance to play all our new stuff that we've been making, and you know, like try it all out together. And the good thing about working from home with these things is you can use all your equipment at once.
Yeah.
Because when you go to a gig, sometimes you're like, oh, I have to leave that behind because it doesn't fit in the suitcase or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we just had everything out, and it was great. It's very difficult for us to describe what we do because I don't know, it's so hard. But you'll see when you see it. But we do wear costumes and stuff, and it is all improvised on the spot. So yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into it, and then we will chat some more after. Here is.
Are you gonna play the whole thing now? That's awesome.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Can't break it up. It has to be experienced in one big go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm super into this.
Here's some music from Isn'tses, and we'll talk after. Social distancing variety hour.
Variety hour. social distancing variety
hour. That was Isn'tses. Some new live music from Isn'tses. Great stuff, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was super cool. So what, like, was everything self-built?
No,
or was it like 70, you know?
Well, I've got like a sampler on there, so some of the stuff was like field recorded. But I combine my stuff anyway with a whole bunch of synths that are like advanced, you know, like that I wouldn't be able to build or design myself.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix.
Yeah, it's kind of, I like mixing stuff together that maybe shouldn't be mixed together necessarily. Like, but the thought processor was in there somewhere. That kind of like noise at the end. No,
nice.
Noise at the beginning was kind of like the thought processor.
The one thing
so you can't focus in.
One thing, like we were saying before about not having to take all our equipment to a gig, I've been using quite a lot, just various like rack mount, old, you know, like effects units and things, just like obsolete kind of 90s multi effects and things that are just, you know, they're just too huge to take to a gig. But, so it's nice to get back into using
because we don't have a car, you see, because we go by public transport.
Yeah, no one really drives.
You just don't really need a car in London, so so everything has to fit into a suitcase and a bag, and half of the stuff we take with us is cables.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely I do. I've definitely gotten spoiled the last couple months by having, and I still don't have all my stuff set up because a lot of it is hiding behind the flag back here. But, but I've definitely gotten spoiled the last couple months by like having the modular set up all the time and like never having to tear it down, and having a table full of noise toys over here set up all the time and never having to tear it down and stuff. And I play keyboards in a kind of a hip hop project, and we did a streaming gig in an empty venue, I don't know, last week or the week before, and I had kind of forgotten how much setting up and tearing down gear sucks until I didn't do it for 3 months and then suddenly did it again. And I kind of like, as much as I miss gigs and as much as I miss like playing with friends and being around people and stuff, I've gotten totally spoiled by just having all my stuff right here and never,
I totally understand what you mean. Yeah,
and never having to move it.
I mean, I've got the choice of 3 guitars that I would never have at a gig, you know.
Right. And I've got like
sitting up and the taking it down, and then you have to set it up again when you get home. Like, so you unpack,
and that's the thing.
Unpack,
like I get
to the
so
venue, you pack, you unpack, and then you set up again.
I get so little work done at home when I'm playing gigs because I don't have the luxury of having like a studio rig and a live rig. Like the studio rig is the live rig. Like I'm using the same stuff here that I use when I go out and play gigs. So if I'm out playing a gig, like I'm tearing down, not everything because I can't take everything, but I'm tearing things down here to the extent that I can't then come home and do anything. So like if I'm gigging at all heavily, like I go months at a time without recording any music because it's like it's such an undertaking to get things back into a state here where I feel like I can get any work done. And it's like, well, it's Tuesday and I'm just gonna have to tear it all down again on Friday, so it's not even worth it.
Yeah, no, why bother? Leave it in the suitcase. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So like so much of my gear spends time like in the before times when we were playing gigs and stuff, like so much of my gear spent so much of its life just in cases on the floor, just having been brought back in from the car and dumped in a pile. Like it's and like I don't. It's been nice, and I'm working from home right now from my day job from like right over there. I have a second desk set up down here with my work computer on it. But like I'm within a couple steps of all of this stuff, and I can come over and like, oh, let me let me tweak this patch a little bit. Let me, work on this throughout the day when I've got 5 minutes here and 10 minutes there. And I kind of, like, people talk about life getting back to normal and all of that stuff. Like, I don't really want it to, because I really, like...
There's definitely perks.
There are definitely perks to life not being normal.
Yeah, I think I was saying that to Tim the other day. Like, I'm not sure that I want to go back and do gigs and venues. Maybe we just do them from home.
Yeah.
we can play live stuff all over the world. Like, we don't have to travel anywhere.
Yeah.
And deal with all that hassle and sound checks and waiting around and whatever else goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
you do have to wait up till 3:30 in the morning though.
We're actually on Thursday we're doing a live performance at a gallery, and we actually are going there. So this will be like the first time in ages where we're actually going to go somewhere.
But it'll be still streamed.
We're not sure that we even know how to do it anymore. Like, how do we?
Do you doing improv, in the moment kind of stuff? Do you start to pick and choose like what you're bringing, and does that kind of shape it for you? Because like Adam and I did some improvisational stuff with a musical collective, but it was all guitars and bass and drums and keyboards and stuff, and so it was like having to pick and choose because you got to get on the tube. Like, do you plan that part of it and then just let the music go when you get there?
Well, I've got my basic setup, which is like the Octatrack and a few other synths. That was what makes the where I do the beats and stuff like that. So all that stuff, I have to bring it. So I've got my basic setup, and then the other stuff that I take is like, like I might not have space for another synth, but that I don't need it. But I need my basic setup. So it's kind of the other stuff. Like I've not normally been taking my modular stuff with me at the same time because that's a whole separate box. And but it would be really nice to be able to do that. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I will just find a way to do it.
You have a Euro rack set up, or?
Yeah, I mean I've got like I've converted like a wine box.
Oh, okay.
Wooden wine box into a small. It's about this big. Euro rack.
Yeah, I've got.
And it works with some of my other synths. Like I use the CV out and the gate and stuff, and it works quite nicely.
Yeah, mine is right over here.
So
there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's like it's a bit bigger than mine, but yeah, like I could do a gig without the modular, but I would definitely like to have it there. Because it gives me, I have more like more of a range of sounds that I can draw from if I've got more stuff.
Sure.
But I mean, sometimes I've taken stuff to gigs and I've not actually played it. But sometimes you like to have it there in case you want to play it.
Yeah. Well, and I've tried.
One way we get around that is having lots of small things, so that the.
Right.
You know what it looks like.
You're gonna sell so many of those in America because you keep holding it up like a commercial.
Yeah. You could wear it as a hair clip. Like if you didn't have space.
That would be great.
But wait, there's more.
Nah.
I'll be your U.S. distributor. Anybody who wants one, get at me, and we'll get a bulk order of them together from these guys.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, go on.
Oh, well, I was going to say, like, for fuck's sake, it's London. So, I mean, is there a cohesive music scene for your music? Or is it, doing like galleries and doing shows at forts and and doing other noise shows? Or is there like a vibrant, like, not now, obviously, but was there? But, was there like a scene for it, or is it just completely different because of the city that you're in?
Well, I guess we play we play as part of a scene. Like there is like a scene
Yeah,
there.
it's
Like
definitely
we
like a nice
we're
scene.
often playing with people that we know.
Sure.
Like hardly ever are we playing with people that we haven't met before. Like so there is a scene. There's people that we've played with on the same bill like several times. And we know lots of people, but we were going to play at World Power in May, which is like kind of there's lots of bands that play at that and that sort of thing. But then they also do some noise music and things. So sometimes it's mixed up with other things as well.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's quite diverse. I mean, there's been like there's sort of, there's pure noise gigs and over the time we've been doing it, there's been quite a lot of just full on noise shows, but then most of the time it's some kind of mix of different genres of experimental stuff and improv and whatever.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Noise Shed as well last weekend, but all these things are getting either postponed or cancelled. So Noise Shed is like something we do in a shed outside at a festival. So there's like bands, playing inside in the main room, and then we've got the shed outside, and we fill that with crazy noise stuff. And it's always a really good day because you've got like 2 rooms, like, you go inside, watch a band, and then come outside and see something completely crazy in the noise shed. So I think there is like a scene that it's kind of like not massive, but it's like there is something going on there. But yeah, you think in London that it would be like heaving with gigs all the time, and it kind of is. Like sometimes you do a gig and it's clashing with 3 other noise gigs.
Well, and that's kind of like that's consistent with my experience of having played in New York or having played in any of the other kind of major American cities. Like the one time that I played in Brooklyn, I was playing in Brooklyn on the same night as Jay-Z, and like I wouldn't have gone to see myself either. Like there were 3 gigs that literally I would have rather been at than be at.
Yeah. I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
It's
like Jay-Z was playing, Animal Collective was playing, I forget who else, but yeah, there were at least 3 or 4 gigs that, like, well, I wish I didn't have a gig so I could go to that one instead.
Yeah.
And I'm sure London can be a little bit that same way where you're up against everything. But I think that happens even in towns
everywhere.
like ours more than it should.
Because small little fucking.
I think sometimes when we play outside of London, we get like a much more excitable crowd.
Sometimes just gigs in small towns are better because it's like they actually care about it.
London people are good.
No, London people are good. It's like sometimes people
they've seen everything. They're jaded. They're like, oh, another nice gig.
It's like in small places, it's like, wow, you came to our town.
Yeah, when it's like the only noise gig they've ever had, it's usually better than if it's like the 5th one that week.
If you go out and play in Luton, then
like in Lincoln. Is it Lincoln? They do the Weird Garden, which is just
I know about the Weird Garden.
Yeah.
My friend Jez is from Nottingham, but he's originally from Lincolnshire. I need to introduce you to Jez if you haven't met him. He's got a project called Modulator ESP, solo synth guy. We've done a bunch of work together, but yeah, he's based in Nottingham, but he grew up in Lincolnshire. And he's played tons of the Weird Garden gigs and stuff. So
that's like a really cool thing where it's like it's in a small place, but they have regular stuff there.
Yeah.
Sonic Machines. Sonic Experimental Machines. Like he does a lot of stuff that he wears. He makes his own. He does lots of like making his own instruments and making. He's got like a silver robot that. It plays.
Yeah, he's got like some sculptural stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a sculptural thing. Yeah. So we know him from there and stuff, and but that's like a small place with like a regular scene going on. So we've played there, like, and that that was, even though it's like a small, tiny, like it's like someone's lounge, but there's a really good bunch of people there.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by there's like a scene, and that's like part of one of the perks, I guess, is that you've got this kind of like. Noise community, which you might not get in other, you might not get that in other genres of music.
Yeah.
So much.
Well, and that's it's that way in the U.S. too in a lot of ways. Like it's a very it's got this very kind of family feel to it, like around the country, because every town has its 2 or 3 people who are putting on the gigs in their house or the venue that they have access to, and it just sort of becomes this kind of like nationwide, really tight-knit family network of all these people who all know each other and all play each other's shows and stuff like that. So it kind of gives me warm and fuzzies to know that it's a little bit that way over there too. So that's cool.
It is, yeah, and it's like that in Europe as well. We know people in different countries in Europe, and it's kind of interesting the way the noise scene is like that worldwide.
Yeah.
I think it's like that in New Zealand as well, but it's like, again, like, somebody's lounge somewhere. I'm originally from New Zealand.
Right.
And it's interesting the way that particular...
that's why you called it the TV instead of telly.
yeah, TV. Yeah. Exactly.
I think I would call it TV with that.
You don't call it TV.
I would call it TV.
The box.
The box, yeah.
But yeah, that's funny the way that noise is like that all over the world. Like it's got this like thing. I think it's like that with some modular scenes as well. But they kind of cross over, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but I mean, there's only so many lonely people that want to hear drone for a few hours in every community. So
I'm not lonely, Michael. I live a rich, exciting life. I'm not lonely at all. I live a rich, exciting, very full life in my basement.
In your basement. Man. You're going out to do this gallery gig, so and then that's just streaming, right? It's not.
Yeah, there'll be.
There won't be
social.
There'll be the people, but
there'll be the people working.
Just be the technicians,
not like an audience, but still.
Well, the people and the curators and anyone else that's at the gallery helping out. So
it's kind of almost like a gig, but not quite.
I think the government are saying something about that. They're gonna 1st of August is when they start reopening things like theaters and stuff. I'm not sure if that includes live music or not.
Wow.
Theaters.
Like they've allowed pubs to open, but they can't have not even loud recorded music, because it makes people talk louder and spit more. That's
the new thing in Pennsylvania.
No drinking beer doesn't make people talk.
Yeah. It's like quite. It's quite
all those quiet pubs that you hear about all the time.
But yeah, it's been a bit weird. I mean, we know people who run venues and things, and it's like, it's kind of a nightmare for them because they're not really given any real information of when they can feasibly actually do stuff again. And they just, we know promoters who are just booking gigs, hoping that it's going to be okay by then, basically, which hopefully will. But...
Yeah, I mean, I hope I win $1 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that hope isn't happening. Would you guys do it? I mean, do you feel it enough? Like the importance of it? Like, would you play a show if they were like, hey, might as well open it up. We'll see what happens. Like, would you feel comfortable being in a lounge with, 20 people, 30 people, like 7 people, that you don't know?
We have to follow the science.
We're following the science. Yeah.
We'll get loud.
Okay. I think I would still try and keep a distance from people.
Yeah.
But there'd probably have to be a system where people still stand a few meters apart.
I mean, everyone's.
And then I'd probably run outside after the gig had finished.
Yeah. And just hold your breath the whole time.
Go and stand outside. Yeah. I probably would do a gig because I know that it's not going to be a room heaving with people. And noise gigs are often quite spacious anyway. Like some of the venues that, that it's easy to like, create a socially distanced thing. And a lot of them have gardens as well. Like one of the places we play at Eclectic, they've got a big garden outside. So you could just sort of, as long as you've got space between you, I think it's all right. I probably would do it, yeah.
Well, the sketchy
shit show right now.
The sketchy gigs are starting to start back up here. There was a
there was a semi-noise band hip hop fest.
Yeah,
this
really
weekend.
no noise to speak of, but it was like EDM kids and hip hop kids, and I didn't get asked to play, but I had a couple people that sort of asked me like if it was a thing I was gonna be at, and I'm like,
no.
Just for perspective, we live in a city of about 100,000 people, but within about 20 minutes of here, it turns into very country. Like, and this was
all the BBC documentaries when they're out talking to like, hick farmers in America. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
that's exactly what is right outside of us.
That's 20 minutes drive in any direction from here, basically. And this little festival was just in this dude's yard out in the West County, out in the country, 20, 30 miles from here. And just the way they were talking about it, like, I don't trust it. Like they were the first posts about it that I saw were just very, very casual about anything about following guidelines, following masking, following social distancing, any of that.
Yeah, I mean, it boils down to we're not ready. We didn't deal with this right, and we're probably going to get screwed. And so that's why I was curious if you'd play a gig, because, we hear some things about, what's going on in England, but not a lot, because every time you turn around, it's like, oh shit, now what's happening in America?
Right.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
We've had like a drop in cases. I think there's maybe 2,000 cases. But that's 2 cases per day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we want to be able to keep our scene going, and
but in perspective, it's like, we'd be cautious about doing a small noise show, but there's loads of hype in the news about all these massive raves people are having, and the police can't even shut them down, and so we can do whatever, but basically there's still massive illegal raves and things happening with tons of people not social distancing. So
there's been rumblings of some.
There's nothing you want more than a fucking warehouse full of people on MDMA social distancing.
Only half slobbering over each other. Rather
it is
than,
kind of it's kind of scary because.
But I mean, we're kind of careful, but I think a noise gig just wouldn't be that busy, and I suppose you'd have to, just be aware of not shouting at people or anything. And once you go outside, it gets a bit better. But I think it's going to be difficult in the winter when everyone's inside anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
at the moment, people can, and even just meeting friends or whatever, people can meet in the park. And
you meet in the park.
Away from them.
Right.
But now, once it gets winter, it's going to be different.
Yeah, I walked over, my son and I walked over to our park that's in our neighborhood here the other day, and I had this urge to do a busking noise set in the little amphitheater that was there. So I think that's a thing that that needs to happen before the summer is out. But I say this with love because I am one. The shows that nobody wants to come to anyway, I think can be the first ones to come back probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the thing. There might only be 5 people there, and then
and
those special 5 people will
enforce your personal bubbles, and the noise shows are probably okay.
Oh yeah, you
I'm-
guys should make a big like plastic curtain or something see-through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could put in front of you, and
we should. Yeah.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
with projections going out onto the plastic curtain. You have the
That'd be really
technology, guys.
there you go.
We often move in around the audience, like we move in amongst them, but we wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Not now, you know. So we
all
wouldn't
your fans go away.
stay on the stage and behave.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna walk around amongst us, I don't need to be.
Yeah.
I wanted them to track it back to me. I'm the one that gave it to you.
Yeah. That would make the headlines for sure.
There you go. Then you're famous. Then it all works out.
Yeah.
All right.
Then you're opening for the Stones next
Yeah.
summer.
Somebody's got to be the patient zero with a noise scene.
Yeah.
Do you think your music's changed because of everything going on, or is it just giving you more time to like really find it, where you want to be at?
I think it's always evolving anyway.
Yeah, it changes quite a lot from one gig to the next.
Yeah. I don't think it's changed that much, really. I mean, I don't think the music changes that much. It does evolve. Like, I mean, we're recording new things all the time. Like,
And some of the stuff we've done at home during lockdown is quite different to what we
yeah.
showed.
Actually, yeah. Because like
Yeah.
I don't normally play guitar for live with Isn'tses stuff, but for a couple of recordings, I played guitar for the whole thing actually, so that's just what I felt like doing. And because I was at home, I've got all my stuff, and I didn't really care if it was different to what we normally did. So yeah, in that way, I did experiment more with that. And actually, we did an album called Quarantine Noise, Quarantine Noise, which is like there's a lot more of my kind of guitar playing on there, like noisy guitar stuff with Tim, so that probably was something we did. Although I've done guitar on other albums, but I don't know, just something about lockdown. I was like, I just want to do something different to what we would normally do live. Like, I don't want to do the same setup.
Yeah.
Whereas the setup we did tonight was kind of more what we normally would.
What we would do live, yeah.
So in that way, that we did experiment more with other things that we've got at home. That
I feel like it kind of, in some ways, it kind of lowers the stakes in a lot of ways. Like if you're doing something, for something that you're just recording at home, or for something that's going out on a stream, there's something about it that's kind of freeing to do whatever the fuck you want, as opposed to at a gig where there's, I mean, even noise gigs, experimental gigs tend to be fairly open-minded and not that many people there to begin with, but there's still some sort of internal sense or pressure of something that, like, I need to do the thing that's the thing that I do, or
the thing that you do,
right,
so
like the there's, at least for me, there's some sense of like wanting to make people happy or whatever.
Do you love me now, Dad?
And
to me, you don't want someone to come up to you and hit you with their slipper,
right? And there's a certain amount of that that goes away when you're at home, and it's like I'm on my turf, I'm in my space, I can do what I want, and there's something a little bit liberating about that, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely that. Yeah, I'm on my turf thing. Yeah, we did like a performance which was quite a lot more like toned down. One of the first ones. It was like really like quite a lot more not ambient. No, but I was playing guitar, but I was sort of sitting on the floor. Sort of chilled out, sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
and there was a lot more space, and it wasn't as like full on, and that's just because we were just like, oh, it was just quite casual. You know, we just like, oh, let's just put the camera there and not really set anything up, and we didn't have any projections or anything like that. We just did that, and that was quite nice. It was quite different. And that was just right at the beginning of lockdown, where live streams were starting to become a thing, and it was we had a lot of like there's novelty to it.
Yeah.
Now everyone's like bored with like another one.
Yeah. Notice that real quick. Nobody's on the open mic scene anymore. Just going around and around. Yeah. Do you record more now, or is it more just playing to, get where you want to be?
Like we were saying,
it's more,
it's
more like writing.
We kind of done both. I mean, because we've, like we were saying, we did this album, which is basically recorded from the live stream stuff we've done.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's the best of that.
Yeah, it's like the editing time. So it's been, it's kind of a nice in between live and recording. And we've been doing more recordings. I've done a bunch of my own stuff. Recorded a load of sentimental stuff and some sort of dungeon synth stuff as well, which I was doing. And it's just having time at home with everything set up, like you're saying, not having to set it up for a gig. We've managed to record.
I've probably done like more programming. I've done like programming, which I do with the sampler. Sometimes that's like field recordings and stuff. So I've been collecting sounds and things like that.
Yeah. It's the stuff that's kind of tedious. That's like I have time to do the tedious thing now.
Yeah. We're working on building and designing a new synthesizer.
Oh yeah.
So we've been working on that a lot. And the thing is with lockdown, we're not officially in lockdown anymore, but we're kind of still kind of
limbo.
We're social distancing, I suppose. Like we can't really go out to gigs and stuff, so we kind of still are.
Right.
Like that kind of means that there's like more time for
stuff.
What I was going to say. It's all very
projects.
No, that's what I was going to say, is that you would imagine that there's loads of like ability to concentrate on things. But my concentration some days just is all over the place, you know.
Yeah,
and I was kind of more focused on like completing projects at the start, and I am working on stuff at the moment, bits and pieces. I'm a painter as well, so I've done a lot of that. And but then you'd think that you'd be like really concentrated and stuff, but I think it affects your concentration. There's some days where you're just I think I'll record something and then I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So then I might just work on stuff like ideas and things, bits and pieces of things, rather than be like, right, I'm going to record an album. I'm not sure that I want to do that right now, but we did do an album anyway. So we can't have too many albums, but definitely working on new like programming things and stuff, and learning more about my equipment, like learning all the other stuff that it does, because there's always the things that about your synth. Like I've got the Octatrack, which is quite difficult.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so I'm learning more about that and more tricks that it does, and I'll find out about this or that or whatever. So it's quite good like that. But I don't have any massive ambitions for recording. I'm not sure that I even like recording that much. I like making stuff and doing stuff and like having ideas and like having like jamming and things like that, and seeing how things work together, but not necessarily recording it. But that I do have the idea that I'll do that soon though, so I'm building up to it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people don't understand, like, for what's going on, the artistic sediment of self, like what an artist does. Like when you guys talking earlier about the setup and the tear down and the bags full of cables and shit. Like, people don't think about, you know, that's why you're paying to see the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because you're coming to hear like a 20 or 40 or 80-minute set. Like, you're coming because I've been putting this together for months, and then I lugged all this shit down here and used my talent to perform for you. Like, that's what, you know, that's what you're paying for. And so when you have that artistic sentiment and then you're given this pandemic and just this lockdown and things, like, you can't always express that stuff, you know, you can't get that immediate response. And so you delve deeper into your, you know, into your art and into what you're doing. And I think that, you know, a lot of people put pressure on themselves that I got to write a book and I got to record an album and I got to do this stuff. But you're finding, you know, all these different things about what makes your art. And I think that, you know, for someone to put some kind of ideals on, you know, on another person or another artist, or feel bad about, you know, this person's put out 17 tracks, you know, in the last 3 months, like, you know, rather than doing that, to just really get, you know, find again what it was about the art that makes you happy and why you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it is nice having sort of time, but it's not always it's not always easy to go into it and like have like this like whole goal, like maybe when I'm not so goal centered, I suppose, like you know, I just think, oh, why should I, like you said, like, why should I have this, like, oh, I'm going to do this amazing thing or whatever, like, but I just like sort of plod along. I plod along anyway. Plod along, that's what I do. Plod along, like, you know, just sort of doing what I kind of feel like doing, or, you know, sometimes I have to force myself, and I'm like, I really enjoyed that I forced myself, and I really enjoyed doing what I did. But doing the live streams is good because it, you know, it just gives you some structure. You've got something to work towards, and like even like for, you know, preparing for it and doing it, like it takes you outside of your normal everyday life.
It forces you to do something.
And so it feels like you have purpose again, or whatever. And that's kind of interesting, the way that music has that, but not just doing music and jamming and stuff, but kind of sharing your music, I guess.
That's what we're here for, giving people purpose in 2020.
Purpose
like 2 weeks into this stupid shit that we do, we played a video from somebody and they did this little fucking dance in the middle of it. So we just adopted it to make fun of him and ourselves.
Yeah.
So now we do it all the time, and it's just.
Is that like what you do when you go to the shop? You just kind of, so that people stay out of your way.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, it's
that's a new thing.
Yeah.
Social distancing. If people are new to you, what would you want them to hear first? You know, how would you want them to discover you?
This is a good tape. It's called Punctum.
Is it backwards?
It's called Punctum. It's on our Bandcamp.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the recent ones.
That's like a good tape that we've got. So that's on our Bandcamp. It actually looks. It's kind of got like on Bandcamp. It's kind of got like a green. It's got a green cover with two little finger puppets.
The
luchador finger puppets, because we wear the luchador masks.
Oh, nice.
But for the tape, it's like, we just do it by hand.
Yeah.
So look out for the album that's got the bright green cover with the two luchador finger puppets on it. And you get, if you order that, you get a free finger puppet.
Oh, I gotta get right on that.
I want. I might want the finger puppet more than the cassette.
Yeah, it might be cheaper to purchase. Should offer that option.
And we made a bunch of these magnets as well. Like These are upcycled fridge magnets. I did this on one of the days where I was having concentration problems, you know, like so I just made a bunch of these. Like they're actually upcycled. Spray painted them and then did like you take it out of the packet.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
like
we gotta get 2 of those tapes so we can have finger puppet fights on the show, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make them a little bigger. We'll have puppet fights.
They fit nicely on. You can wear them as like it's like good as a hair clip as well.
I'll wear it right over my pacemaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I do stupid things like that when I can't concentrate. I'm just like, I can't concentrate, so I just make some stuff. Because it forces me to sit down and like do something for a few hours that's not on the screen, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the people can find you at isn'tses.co.uk, isn'tses.bandcamp.com. You guys both have solo projects as well, right?
Yeah, I do like Ninja Riot, which is NNJA Riot. So Ninja without the I. That's on Bandcamp.
And the listeners.
And listenlease.co.uk is my website for all my music, all my solo projects, including my indie stuff that I mentioned before. So that's listen, LISSE, listenlease.co.uk. And that's got links to everything that I do, Bandcamp and everything.
And I've got my solo thing my main solo thing is Cemental, which is my harsh noise and circuit bending thing I've been doing for years. And my lockdown dungeon synth project I've just started is called Disgusting Cathedral.
Disgusting Cathedral. That's
it's
excellent.
kind of like I've been interested in this genre of dungeon synth for a while, but basically most of this album I've made is basically my idea of what I thought it should have sounded like before I actually heard it. And when I heard it, I realized it's just like Dungeons and Dragons Casio keyboard music, which is kind of good sometimes, but it's not really what I had in mind. So I made the album of what I thought Dungeons and Dragons should sound.
You hacked the genre.
It's kind of still Dungeons and Dragons. It still has a lot of the important attributes of it.
There's some synths in there.
It's got synths and it's got a dungeon. And so yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I was quite excited about doing working on some more stuff for that as well.
So if you go on our YouTube as well, we've got a playlist of all our live streams.
Oh yeah, so it's good. Isn'tses.
And they're all quite different as well. Like even though it's all in the same room, they all look quite different.
Yeah.
So we use different visuals, and we change just changing the angle of the camera can make quite a bit difference.
Sure. Yeah, you guys have definitely got me rethinking like doing more visual treatment stuff in the room here, like when I do live streams. Like a lot of times I will just still look like me in the room, but I'll put just in the software, I'll put a bunch of filters on myself or layer films over me or whatever. But like I've got a projector, it's right over there. And I should definitely like make some more like weird visual things happen in the room. So that's my takeaway from tonight. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for that.
Thanks.
I heard cool music
voice for that.
Yeah, I heard cool music and had great conversation and like really got into you guys. But Adam just wants to do more with his decor. So good.
I'm glad that we helped you with your interior design.
There's your night. That's what you guys can do now. You get a show on ITV, where you go around and redesign people's webcasts.
Yeah.
Oh,
we found our new opportunity in life. COVID has really helped us.
Gotta have a side hustle.
Lisa, Tim, you guys have been phenomenal. Like I really enjoyed. I look forward to my finger puppet and my instrument, because Adam and I are definitely on board. Like,
for sure.
We're all about it. Isn'tses on the Bandcamp, on the co.uk, because that's different than .com, because we're about commerce and they're about their country.
.com always costs like £50 more or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, the queen needs it, really.
Yeah. So you get to choose between .org and .co.uk, isn't it?
They can have all sorts of stupid stuff.
Or some other thing that no one's going to remember.
Right. .biz. Yeah. You guys.
Biz,
Isn'tses, again, Lisa, Tim, you guys have been fantastic. I hope we can keep in touch, and if we keep doing this, we'll go back again. And then if things return to any kind of normal, and we ever get our shit together over here, and you guys tour the States, you got a room to stay at. So
oh, great.
You can stay right in Adam's basement.
Well, it's been great to speak to you guys, and likewise. We had a great laugh. That we needed that. We needed a good laugh. Yeah.
Well, good.
That's why we're here.
Well,
You've inspired us to do that recording that we are supposed to be doing.
Oh, good.
When they said that we're doing more recording, we were like,
yeah, we totally are. Yeah, we're doing that tomorrow.
Yeah. Remember, there's two guys in America watching you.
Yeah. America is watching. So I went and found some more music, some good night music while we were talking earlier. We were talking about Strange Garden. This is my friend Jez at Strange Garden.
Oh, yeah. They're
So we'll put on a couple of minutes of that, and then, Michael, let's come back and say goodnight to the people in a minute.
cool.
Definitely.
Okay.
Social distancing
variety hour.
That was my dear friend Jez Creek at Weir Garden in Lincoln, because we were talking about it earlier. And I'm like, you named a place in the UK that I know that like my friends go and play. I'm excited about that.
That was super dope.
Yeah, that was really fun.
We're international.
We are. We're transcontinental. And,
I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock a microphone. And I was going to keep going, but I'm not because I don't want to embarrass myself. And I look back at that Black Lives Matter flag and I just... Kittens!
More kittens. Paolo.
Fixed kitten.
Trans kitty.
Trans kitty.
Well, this has been another social distancing variety hour.
Oh my god! I haven't even gone through this bottle at all. This is like, no, I've been. No, really
you're totally.
Yeah. It's because I'm happy. For one of the first times in my life, I was really happy this weekend. I had a really great day.
Well, good.
I had a really great weekend.
Good.
So but I'm still angry. If you missed the beginning of the show, they're disappearing people in Portland, and it's terrible. And you should call people and learn about this and understand this, and write your Congress people and those people that are in power that are absolute fools and have nothing to do. But this is how fascism starts, and we cannot be a part of that. I mean, we'll be all right because we're white and middle-aged, so we're fine. But
and I don't leave my basement.
Yeah, and I'm you come upstairs. They're already after me.
Yeah, anyway. they know who you are and where to find you.
Yeah, they're coming. But anyway, that was a dope show.
Yeah.
So Isn'tses on the Bandcamps and on the links that Adam puts on things.
Yeah, check the video description. The isn'tses.co.uk is in the video description. Partial nudity. Join us next week. We don't know who we're gonna have yet next week, but we're working on a number of exciting possibilities. We got friends in Portland.
I can't wait for all the messages that you get that are like, oh, if you're looking for someone for next week, I'd love to come on and tell you about my stuff I do.
They've kind of tapered off because they realize that we're talking about real shit.
Yeah, you fucking eerie pussies. You want to make this music, you want to be on stage, you want to do things, but then when it's time to belly up to the bar and be, what's your art about? My art's about, covering Green Day songs. Fuck you.
I don't know anybody who covers Green Day songs.
I don't know them, but I know they exist.
They must exist.
And I'm not. Yeah, they're playing all the underground parties we don't go to.
Oh, I have not been to an underground party since.
If you went to Fader Fest, hit us up.
Yeah,
we'll have you on next week.
Yeah,
because I got questions.
Yeah, I got questions. Hopefully you got answers, and hopefully you're not infected with anything. But
if you played Fader Fest, you're not allowed to come on the show anymore.
We've also got questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were at Fader Fest, do hit us up because I'm curious to hear what that was about, and we got Chafee's coming up in a couple weeks too, which is
Doug, I love you, man, but seriously, just do it 4 days next year. Come on, because who's not gonna go, so the people that are gonna go aren't distancing now.
Right.
That's it's the risk. Munion's great.
They're fine.
They were great one time.
Yeah. And
there was lots of externalities that made them fine.
It's never the headliners at Chafee's that I care about. It's always the 6 o'clock bands are always where it's at for me. And they've lost all the 6 o'clock bands.
Oh, plus the Possibilities aren't playing, so fuck them.
Well,